Hello, welcome to Aquillius Incubee Highlight. My name is Alice Dresch and I am the Project Associate here at Aquillius. Today we have
Ravi Chawla, founder of ChakraTech.
So Ravi, can you tell us a little bit about your professional and your personal background, please?
Yeah, I would love to. So I'm going to start with personal. I grew up in a small town in India. Was very passionate about science from an early age. Convinced my parents to move to a bigger city, got my chemical engineering degree, then came to US for the graduate school in chemical engineering as well. But then over the last 5 years, I've transitioned into truly infectious disease and microbiology research. So I expand this interdisciplinary science and engineering background, and that's what I do.
So can you tell us about ChakraTech and what problem ChakraTech is solving?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. So ChakraTech is an interdisciplinary hard tech company, and what we're doing is we're integrating traditionally different fields like climate tech, clean tech, and biotech. And even further specifically, what I can tell you is that what we are doing is we're taking greenhouse gases and we are converting it into a truly biodegradable plastic, something that does not require dedicated facilities. It would degrade naturally if it makes it into soil or in the marine environment. So that's what ChakraTech is doing. What are you most excited about with ChakraTech? So, as I said, that traditionally people have operated in very different regimes. They approach the fields very differently. I'm really excited about pushing the envelope for biomanufacturing for 21st century and integrating these traditionally different fields and show a world what is possible. And actually I think this is the way 21st century is going to move forward. So what inspired you to start ChakraTech? There are a couple of things that I would say. Well, originally I think the motivation comes from, and it's ingrained subconsciously as a child in you from your parent. My mom has always been about sustainable solutions. And she, from an early age, she would worry about, plastics entering into our food stream. And I didn't understand at the time, but turns out the recent studies say that, you're ingesting up to a credit card worth of plastic every week, which is a lot. So her hunch was spot on. And that's one. But, other than that, there was also, as a child, when we'd go to our grandparents' house, I would see these, plastic mountains, and it's even more concerning for a developing country like India. And well, US is not far off. You can see the same thing in Myanmar. And that really concerned me that, we're generating this plastic that's not sustainable. We keep on building up these sites. So what can we do to change that? And at the time I did not know, right? But my training in chemical engineering, material science, and biology, I found a solution that nature has actually provided, and I wanted to integrate the fields and make a truly biodegradable plastic and solve the plastic problem. So that's what really inspired me.
Wonderful. What obstacles have you faced as a founder?
So it's it's part of the job, and I think that's the thrill. I'm a chemical engineer at heart, and everything to me is like problem solving. So you're constantly solving problems. But one of the first ones that we faced was, well, if you have a good idea, you have robust science and engineering to support you, but there is no funding. How do you want to push the boundaries, but how do you do it without the resources? So, I started talking to people in the area. We were going to rent someone's, well, not rent, they were lending it to us for free, their backyard, so that I can build a bioreactor, which is just a giant vat where you can grow microbes, and my microbes were going to make this bioplastic. But obviously, it's a bit of a fire hazard to use it in San Diego, so I was really worried about it. But we had a turn of fortune, and we won the Aquillius lab space as a prize, and then, we resolved the lab space as one of the problems. And really, to push on the R&D, the research and development, you really need to focus on the right problem. So even though I could have built the garage lab, our focus could have been better spent on having a good lab site, and we got it through Aquillius.
So how is being an incubee at Aquillius benefiting your company, ChakraTech?
As you know, well, again, I can point multiple things. I'm going to restrict to two that immediately comes to my mind. One is just this excellent research and development resources, right? As I pointed that, you know, our energy, we can invent everything, what even people have done before, but, you know, for us to move our problem further, we can use Aquillius's excellent R&D resources. That's one. And then the second part is the great network and support that comes from Aquillius for, you know, as it's a new startup is like quite like a child, you know, baby. It needs a lot of care, and we're lucky to have the network and support through Aquillius for us to grow.
And we're lucky to have you here, Ravi, and ChakraTech.
So
are there any final thoughts you'd like to include?
I'd just like to say that, you know, the world is now at a place where we have to integrate science and engineering, and well, there are places where those disciplines can operate separately, but ChakraTech is now, you know, pushing the frontiers by integrating those two fields, and keep an eye out for us.
Absolutely. How can people find you? What is the best way to contact Ravi ChakraTech?
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn, and just, you know, you guys, I can provide you the link, or follow ChakraTech's LinkedIn page. We also and our website, which has a form where you can reach out to us.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in on this week's incubee Highlight.